Good. How was your trip?
Oh, it was awesome. Guess what?
What?
One of a very famous palace in one of a high-end neighborhood.
Yeah.
I found our office.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, business trip.
Yes.
I
Sort
like.
of.
That's a win. Well, Leona, thank you for starting us off with some greatness. Other people, what are your wins, your celebrations, something you're proud of? Come on now. Yesterday we had a whole lot of weirdness in the morning. Let's make up for it today.
Mm.
Nobody, just silence. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
We
One of these,
got another lead.
just one.
Yes.
Where'd you get it?
Um, from my nanny job, actually.
There you go. Very cool. Love that.
So I had to jump off the call early yesterday because I was walking the dogs, and one of the neighbors that is typically always waving to everybody that drives by. He's usually out there with his dog, which her name was Cindy, and she was roughly about 16. Well, she was 16 years old. Hadn't seen him in a while, and as I turned around and started coming back to the house, uh, the owner and his brother were out in front, and so I decided to walk over and say hi to him, and found out that his Cindy had passed away last week, which he had been thinking about selling his home, and um, he was waiting for Cindy to pass. So it was kind of in the right place at the right time to at least have that conversation. He brought me in with my two dogs and let us tour the house and everything like that. Um, so that was a win. And then late last night, I got a text from our lender stating that he was speaking with one of the buyers that we've been working with that wants to go look at a home. And so I called the buyer and talked with him a little bit, and he kind of felt like he thought he was bothering me. He said, I didn't want to, I want to go take a look at it, but I don't want to be a rush. I don't want to, uh, bother you with it and waste your time or anything like that. I said, at your price point, which is 200,000, there's not a lot of homes on the market. So if there's something you're interested in, we need to jump on it. And he's like, well, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm kind of thinking too. So it was, a little bit of hesitation on him to call me because he thought he was bothering me. And I don't, I'm not sure how I presented that because I try to follow up with them and their medical stuff. But either way, we'll have that conversation today when we meet for the showing.
Perfect. It's almost like your avalanche is coming, buddy.
Sure hope so.
I feel it. And the text message this morning, right? You had a couple things coming, offers coming in on deals, and
Yeah, we have another showing at noon today, which is a cash buyer. And I have a little bit of a situation where I've talked with Dan about it, but basically, a um, a potential offer, he keeps contacting me instead of going through his agent. So we got to try to get that straightened out to make sure we don't violate anything.
yeah, it's super weird, but we'll work it out. What else you guys got out there? Win, celebration, something you're proud of? I'm proud of Mikey.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of Jessica. I'm proud of Joanne. I'm proud of Jason. I'm proud of you for having your cameras on so I can see you.
I'm proud that everybody's showing up, even if it is a tough time, because that's the hardest part.
When we were in football tryouts, and this is like your summer training stuff, if you weren't quite fast enough to make the team, they would tell you to go run in sand. Why would you run in sand? I thought. And if you've never ran in the wash or ran in sand, you don't understand just how hard it is, how goofy it makes you feel running in sand. Because try all you might, you're giving it your all. You're not going very fast. You're not going very far, and everything is awkward. You're losing your footing because everything beneath you is sand. But you do that enough. You run through tough times enough. You're doing it consistently. You're going to build muscle. You're going to build talent around the thing that you're working on. And that's how I became a fast runner. As I know, a big guy like me, it's weird to say that I'm fast, but I am. I'm quick. I was a very large man, and when I played ball, I was very fast because I ran in sand a lot. I did things to strengthen the movements that I wasn't naturally good at. But just like hard times represent the sand in our businesses, the more we show up in hard times, the more we push through it, the more we do the difficult tasks, the more you're going to build that muscle memory around success, the more you're going to be able to handle things when the market shifts in your direction. There was an article that came out yesterday, or a couple of days ago, not yesterday. I shared it yesterday. It was Monday that I got it. That some markets in the US are kind of switching to a buyer's market. And sitting in a conversation yesterday with a bunch of big teams, they're seeing a ton of sign calls and a ton of business coming from buyers. The market's shifting in your direction. The more you go out there and run in sand, the more you're going to run into opportunities. So keep showing up when things are hard. You're going to make yourself better. Life doesn't get easier. We just get better at doing hard. That's a big lesson. Life never gets easier. It never does. Oh man, I can't wait for things to get easier. They won't. They won't.
I haven't yet.
They won't. You just get better at doing hard. You get stronger. You get more resilient. Life doesn't get easier. You get better at doing hard. So great win there, Mikey. Showing up all the time. And I know it's tough. I've talked to you a lot. So the rest of you, I'm proud of you being here too. Even if you're newer on the call, showing up, this is your second day. You know who you are. It's a good thing. You create that consistency. It's just like going to the gym. You create a muscle, create success. Unlike Jim, you lay down on the couch because his back hurts. It's okay.
I'm had surgery on Monday, so
You get your heating pad on?
they got the heating pad on my back, but had man surgery Monday, so recovering from that.
Oh. Well, good for you. No more swimmers. Got it. Been there, done that, brother. I went back to work the same day, so I don't know what your problem is.
Slacker.
There's a story behind that I'll tell you privately. Well, what else you guys got today? It's Wednesday. I want to hear you, conversations, topics, objections, more wins. You want to celebrate something? I want to hear it. So let's not be shy.
We have a win, Dan.
You do, yes.
You do.
Oh no, I'm not taking your thunder, girl. This is all you.
No, my side's not the challenging side.
It's not challenging for me. It's fun. Christina and I are
Okay.
actually working a deal together. Under contract as of yesterday.
Yep. Whoop whoop. In the last 30 minutes of response time.
Yeah, 32 minutes to go, I think is when you text me back. Down to the wire. Christina's like, I can't get a hold of my buyers now. They're not responding. I hope they didn't go to bed. And then I tell her, I'll call them 2 times in a row. So I don't know if you had to call them 2 times in a row, but
I already
Never-
had called them 2 times in a row. That's when I
Okay.
texted you and was like, I cannot reach them. I think they went to bed. Why would you go to bed when we've been fighting for this to the 11th hour? Come on, man.
I hope we didn't offend them or bug them, but
Mm-mm.
they're like, oh crap.
They may as well know who I am right out of the gate.
It was guys, you could have seen that. It was kind of funny. It's the docs are off her signature. I called her and texted her twice, hoping they aren't eating dinner or something or in bed. I told her documents were here. I don't know what's going on. And I sent a meme and I'm all just fingers crossed. And then Christina calling her again right now. Like, why would you go to bed at the 11th hour? I told her you guys were sending over docs right away. Maybe they misunderstood. I'm calling her again. I just left a message. I'm calling her again. Crap! I went to bed. Any chance you can get your seller to sign a new counter in the morning? No, that was
I was exploring all options. I was pulling out all stops. I was like, do not tell me this. Come on, man.
And then it was all, these people are killing me. I was like, call them again in two times in a row. She's like, just saw it, signing now, in your inbox. Congrats, it's go time. I'm like, talk about a crescendo, man. But I'll say it's the dedication to that and to showcase a little bit of the professionals around it. We had a tough interaction. Like this seller and the buyer started off, had a very what was it, 72-hour response time in total.
Yeah.
kept getting pushed and kept getting pushed and kept getting pushed. And if you've ever been on the buyer side of that, it's demoralizing. It's almost like, why do they keep pushing it? What games are they playing? What are they trying to get at? When reality was just trying to get settled to a point where the seller could respond. And so to add grace, I took over the deal from another agent, and yesterday Christina's like, "Hey, my buyers want to come look at the house again." So I, you know what, I'll meet them there. And I was there as a facility to the seller. And most people are like, oh, I think it'd be awkward if you're there and talking to an agent, but it wasn't. It was awesome to show up and have a good conversation as the seller's representative with the buyer's agent and the buyers there, kind of saying, hey guys, we're here. We're here to make this deal a win-win. Let's walk through the house together and see all the great things about it, and kind of create a team effort instead of two adversarials, because we
Mhm.
can still make it a win-win where both sides get their desires met without just giving away the farm. It's something you can do. You can go as a listing agent and be there at the open house. You can be there as the, sorry, not the open house, but the showings, and walk the house with the agent. Now, I know Christina is a hell of an agent, and she does a great job showcasing the value in properties and looking for all the things and turning all the light switches on and doing all the neat stuff. But not every agent does. Not every agent will walk through a house and go, this is the benefits. A lot of agents kind of just open the door and say, good luck, fucker. But I can tell you that I let Christina open the door because this is her showing. I was just there. I let her open the door. I let her walk through the house. First thing she does is she starts going to every room, turning on all the lights, opening all the windows, making the house look bright and airy. I can tell you, I've been the listing agent there with other buyer reps where they kind of just open the door and stand there and let the buyers go into an empty cave of the home. Like, that ain't gonna
It's
work, my friends.
it's crazy to me how, like, whether you're on the listing side or the buy side, it's like I was showing houses yesterday to some buyers, and it's just crazy. Like the level of pride is so low sometimes with listing agents too, where it's just like, you guys went to the trouble of like painting this house or doing this or doing that, and like you didn't even want to dust this. You didn't think that maybe fixing that one little, like, it's little tiny stuff where it's like there's splatter on the wall in the kitchen. It's like, bro, this is a competition at the end of the day. Like, put your best foot forward. It just blows my mind, the little things that we could do on both sides that sometimes people just don't do.
So there's a good lesson to win there is a little bit of pride, because it's a buyer's agent. You're getting paid to get that home sold, right? You're not there just to collect a paycheck doing paperwork. As a buyer's agent, what are you doing to that house? Are you just opening a door, or are you going through and showing all the benefits and features and awesome things about this home?
You're the selling agent, sell the house.
Exactly. That's the term that we use on the official side of it, is you were the selling agent, not the listing agent.
And the problem with buyers is they're a runaway train. As soon as they walk in and they see something that they just run away with it and say that, oh, they just cut corners and this house is, it's overpriced and what else are we going to find? And, but if you're there to tell the story, because as the selling agent, you kind of alleviate that and help prevent lowball offers by explaining and humanizing the property.
Yeah, one of the best things you can do, and I'm talking to everyone on this call, is to realize that as a buyer's agent and as a seller's agent, you both have the goal of getting the home sold for the most money. Yeah, the buyers are there to get it as cheap as possible. No, but you still want to justify the value in their eyes, because let's say there's 52 other houses for sale in the same neighborhood. I think that's the case, right, Christina? In this very neighborhood, there are 52 other houses for sale.
Yeah, it's like 51 or 52
So,
total.
so you got to show, why is this house special? What makes this house better? What justifies this price over the other ones? Or what justifies this discount over the other ones? Hey, I know you guys were looking at the house over there that's on the golf course. It's about $40,000-$50,000 more for the same layout. This one has a bigger backyard. It has this, 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 and this. However, it does have this and this to think about. So you're out there selling. I know. I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to be a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. You're not. You're a professional. And even in professions, you need to showcase value. So that's my 2 cents there is, put some pride into your work.
I even take kind of a reverse approach. I tell my clients, I'm going to talk you out of more houses than I'm going to talk you into. I share with them, I said, you're going to walk into a home and you're going to fall in love with it. Kids are going to pick out their bedrooms. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the cracked paint and the dry rot in the eaves, and not to talk you out of it, but just to keep you aware of it while you've got shiny object. I'm doing my job.
Yeah. My job is to point out potential red flags. And I'm not an inspector. But I've done this enough that I'm pretty confident to know that there are certain things that will call into question. Do I need to get this, and this fixed or figured out? Now, do you want to be the resource or do you want to be the source of the source?
The source of the source.
Always, right? Keep a barrier between you and the decision. You know what? That does look like a termite tube. However, not a licensed termite inspector. We should probably get a termite inspector out here. Defer. So, Tyrus, Tiresian, Tyragale, Mr. Givens, why have you not shared your win this morning?
Well, every single time I'm about to unmute, someone starts talking and they go for quite a while.
It's because
Listen, Ty, just go for it.
your cameras.
Those buyers that I've been trying to get into a house, we just got an accepted offer yesterday. We're in escrow today.
There we go.
Nice job.
Super excited. Hopefully that all goes through.
Ty, is this your first deal?
Yes, this will be my first deal. Yes.
That's super exciting.
Good
Sorry.
job, Ty. Quick quiz. Since you just went under contract, how much time do you have to get your inspections done?
10 days.
Starting
When did
when?
that start?
Today.
Well, it started yesterday. Today is day one for you.
Yeah. Today, and then I got. Yeah. Yep. I told my buyers yesterday, I was like, as soon as they sign the contract, I was like, tomorrow inspection day starts. So I was like, we got 10 days to look over whatever we need to. So
Yeah, we had 2 new agents yesterday put offers in and get under contract. Last night it was April. She's on this call sometimes, but she's out in Safford and she got an offer accepted at 9:30 last night.
Awesome.
Is Arizona always 10 days?
Our contract gives the due diligence period on contract by 10 days. Yeah. So some states, like I know Texas is an option state where you pay per day. I don't know what California is. That'd be great to know.
We have contingency, appraisal, inspection, and loan contingency periods, and they're all negotiable.
Okay. What do they have a blanket to start with, or you just have to put it in what you want?
Default 17 days, but then it's got that blank spot in parentheses next to
So
it.
17 days for inspection, appraisal, all together.
No, negative. Separately, but the default 17.
17 days for each one?
Yeah.
So
Not 17 separate. They all start day one, which is day after acceptance, but
okay, so yeah, so all 3 in that 17-day period.
correct.
So
But
we
they
have
can all be negotiated differently.
we have a 10-day inspection window that starts from contract acceptance, and we have a 5-day appraisal contingency upon receipt. So we have 5 days from the note. My brain's fogging. 5 days from the notice of value. So if the notice of value comes in less than the purchase contract price, then you have 5 days to pre-negotiate or to renegotiate or to cancel the contract. So it's like a floating contingency period, but it's nice. It protects the buyers. But then again, our buyers have 10 different spots in the contract they can cancel. Maybe 11.
My buyers felt like that we had previously added in a different contract that we were under 10 days for inspection, and they felt too rushed. There was a suicide that happened on the property that we found out about, and so now that the property that we're under contract on, they're very, very cautious about the due diligence period. So they wanted to make sure that we added the extra days.
We don't have to disclose that in Arizona. We don't have to disclose any death, natural or otherwise.
Yeah, they're very cautious.
Do you guys have to disclose that in California, or did they just
yeah.
happen to find that out?
Oh yeah.
You have to disclose it.
Yeah, so we don't have to disclose if it's the site of a felony, a natural death, or a murder. And
Persons with
Diseases.
AIDS or
yeah, some kind of there's a level to the diseases though. If it's a communicable disease, we have to disclose it.
Sex
Mhm.
offender.
A sex offender, that's the other one. Thank you, Christina. That's also a disease. So kill them all.
Through that.
Sorry. I know that there's circumstances out there, and I shouldn't be so blanketed, but kill them all. So, well, guys,
So
today
they
is
want to
taking-
look that up and like,
yeah.
I guess that's a question. If you have a concern or I mean, I know that it's like, here's links to go look at, crime rates and here's information, all of that. But man, sometimes I'm like, I don't think they're looking at this and I'm worried about this because of reasons X, Y, or Z.
Would that be a potential red flag?
Yeah.
Are you not there to expose potential red flags?
Yeah.
So how
There-
could you handle a situation like that?
How could I what?
How could you handle a situation where or you feel like something could be a potential red flag, and you are under the impression that the buyers have not taken it serious enough to look into it? What can you
I
do?
guess I could just ask them as a reminder, like, hey, do you remember I sent you those links to look into those things? Did you have a chance to look into that?
Yeah. So I would reshare it. Hey, have you checked out the crime statistics in the area? Have you looked at the sex offender registry for this house? Right? Have you looked at the blast radius of the meth lab next door?
Yep.
California were advised to even disclose if somebody thinks the house might have been haunted.
What? Get out of here.
Not required, but it is highly advised.
So how do you guys get this information? Like, where do you find this out?
So say you're talking to a neighbor or somebody is just vomiting the mouth or, oh, this house built in 1930, the joke in the town is that it's haunted. You're like, oh, wonderful. Now I gotta share that.
That's crazy.
I was just thinking, like, if you had bad ducts and you only got one spot that was cold air, that made you feel like it's haunted.
You're like, don't worry, it's not haunted. We just need an HVAC inspector.
Yeah. For this particular situation, guys, the listing agent put in the remarks that there was like a possible, I don't exactly remember the verbiage, but there was a possible death. Called her, she let me know that the neighbor came through the open house and like let her know that somebody had died in there, but that they didn't have any record of it. I told my clients, I was like, I'm happy to look into this. I called title, they didn't find anything, but they know somebody in law enforcement that was able to dig deeper. So I'm glad I asked them. I was like, do you guys want me to look into it? But they were able to find the information faster than I was. Do you guys know of anything that I could have done besides going to title and maybe getting documents like quicker? Because I told them that there wasn't anything that was pulled from title. Or could I have gone to the city? I just want to know like what I could have done to get that information before my buyers did.
Disclose everything that you have material knowledge of. It's not your job to investigate.
Mm.
Does California have a buyer advisory?
Yes, of course.
Does it?
Come on.
I have to ask because I'm not licensed there, but I'm looking at it right now. Your buyer advisory is a 14-page document. It's got a bunch of different things to think about, but I don't see any links or resources. Oh, I see some here. Coastal Commission, sea level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things is be the source of the source. Like you may know some of the things, the material fact has been disclosed to you by the seller, the lender, the previous title person, a neighbor, a tenant, something. So you'll know firsthand. So you always want to be the source of the source and said, hey, Betty Sue next door told me, now you're the source of the source. Instead of being, I know that this house has ghosts. No, Betty Sue next door said the house had ghosts. Source.
Mhm.
Well, do you know what's it going to be for exorcism? I don't, but here's a resource for you. Source of the source. Because if it was your job to do all the investigations, guess what happens if something is unfound?
Your fault.
Your fault, and you get sued. So if you're the source of the source, being in providing them the buyer advisory, say, hey, here's a 14-page document of all the things that should be investigated by you during your due diligence window, and I will help you with resources to do so. And you guys have a disclosure from the seller. Here's all the information we know about the property. Plus, I know that Betty Sue next door says that she hears moaning at night, so this place has to be haunted. It's been vacant for 12 years. Might be something you want to look into. Here's the number for an exorcist. That's why this house is 50% off market value.
So scary.
The bloody windows, the sheets flying around at night. It's very strange.
Please tell me you guys have an exorcist in your vendor list.
We will
I'm-
after today.
Great for Halloween.
Oh man.
If one door opens and another one closes, your house might be haunted. Let me know and I'll get it sold for you. So.
Zoom
I-
raise your hand for you. Oh,
It rose my hand, right? I want to make it funny and exaggerative because you'll remember it. That's why I talk about the dragons in the basement, right? I think I even made that reference yesterday to Christina's buyers. I was like, I want you guys to look for everything possible. If there's a dragon in the basement, I want you to find it. I want you to question it because it's, after all, I want to make sure you guys are making a good decision.
Yeah, you saw their wheels turning going, there's a basement?
Yeah. Basements are extremely rare in Tucson because of the hard clay that we are building upon. So you get like 4 inches into the ground and then it's concrete naturally. So we don't tend to dig that deep because it's really, really hard to do so. We didn't have a theme for today. We just talked about a bunch of random stuff, guys, and I'm okay with that. As long as you're picking up something of value that's going to allow you to move your business forward, move your career forward, and give you just a little bit more comfort moving into the unknown situations. But the underlying essence of what we just talked about is be the source of the source. Don't be the expert. I know it's great to be the expert and know all the things, but I want you to be a pass-through of information. Here is where I got the information from so that they can go and vet the source themselves. Don't get hemmed up by saying something inadvertently wrong. If you guys know me, you've been on my calls long enough, I will say dumb shit because my brain just skips and I make up a word and all of a sudden now they're suing me because I said something that I didn't intend to say. So it's the source of the source. Keep yourself safe. Any other thoughts, questions, comments, concerns before I kick you out of here?
Mm-mm.
I am honestly blown away that you guys have to, it's highly advised that you disclose known supernatural events. So in Tucson, there's a lot of folklore. So if we had to start disclosing that stuff, man, our buyer advisor would be a few more pages long.
You'd be like California.
We would be, but our buyer advisory is pretty. It has all the links. It has all the cool stuff. Yours looks like a lawsuit.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like a case file. All the
It does.
contracts do.
Totally a case file.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen some California contracts with buyers that have contingencies, and I'm like, ugh, vomit. That's gross.
Oh yeah, it's gross. It is definitely gross. And there's even a buyer advisory in English. I'm going to show you guys what makes Arizona a little bit better than California, just a tad. So, this is the Arizona buyer advisory, right? It's got the state flag, a resource for real estate consumers, and it's 13 pages of great information. And each little one has a hyperlink that they can click on to get information for. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, pretty neat, pretty consumer friendly. Right? You like this? You love this? Look, each page buyer advisory, it's very pretty. It's very colorful. It's very nice. And they got to sign it at the bottom, right? Now, California's. It looks like I just got sent to the principal's office.
Awful.
This is the principal's office material here, people. I'm not going to read this. You know why? Because it looks like it's a lot to read. It's probably very similar information. It's just laid out differently.
I tell my clients everything important is in boxed or bold.
So,
I have more
Just
respect
fluff.
for you guys in California now.
and they have like 30% more documents than we do per transaction, guys. So regardless of where you're licensed and do your business, it goes down to disclose, disclose, disclose. And if the seller says do not disclose that, it probably needs to be disclosed extra bold. Advise your clients not to hide information because those are what come up in lawsuits because those are the ghosts of real estate. Let's not have ghosts in real estate. Sound good?
Mhm.
Let's go do something cool today. It's Wednesday. Let's go find some wins. Slowly